It's another day, another draft here on Splash Play. Stream draft number 123 for me on the air, number 63 in Best Ball Mania 5 with $1.5 million of first place. Of course, been drafting teams here every Monday to Saturday at 11 a.m. And today is one that goes out to the haters. We're going to build a sick team today. I also apparently am connected to the wrong screen. There we go. Already in a draft room here. Picking in the 3-hole, which is a rare spot for me lately. Been stuck in the back half of the rounds a lot. See a couple regulars here. Raise It, Bombadil. Bombadil, a paying member, so he's good by me. And Raise It's a nice guy, even though he could be a paying member. So these guys could be in here. We'll see what happens, though. BBM's filling faster these days, so if you are one of those people trying to time me out, going to get harder for you, especially as I do my elusive Barry Sanders-style juking on you all. But we'll see what we get in the 3-hole here. Probably nothing too controversial coming back. Well, let's see. CeeDee Lamb goes 101. Christian McCaffrey 102. I just keep getting Tyreek in the spot, and I would really like to get less of him. I am low on Jamar Chase, or lower than market on Jamar Chase. Higher than market in my mind on Justin Jefferson. I'm above the field right now on Amon-Ra. I know that. Let's not look the gift horse in the mouth. We'll take another Tyreek here at pick 3. I just feel like I'm stuck. Like I'm in the back half of rounds. I'm in the 3-hole getting Tyreek Hill or reaching for Justin Jefferson. I can't get any sort of wiggle room for myself. I haven't gotten a CeeDee Lamb share in a few weeks. I feel like not gotten McCaffrey for myself. I did get him with Pete yesterday on the stream we did as part of his Best Ball Breakfast 4-hour block of content if you want to catch up on that one. But Tyreek Hill at the 103. Still my preferred 103 pick. Obviously, if one of Lamb or CMC were to fall, I would scoop that guy up in a heartbeat, but we'll make it work as we always do here on Splash Play. GMs, bunch of GMs here. Lots of guys GMing bright and early. Good morning. Don't snipe unless you need that player, motherfuckers. Let's go. Sammy, guard dogging for me, and I appreciate it. Ooh-wee, sure to miss my wife and Poopy Jr., but daily Splash Play streams keep this Poopy guy going. Ooh-wee. Thank you for Mr. Poopy Butthole, one of our beloved regulars here who I have to assume with his early arrival in chat today was trying to get me on an earlier version, though. Apparently Mr. Poopy Butthole is pissed off. Anti-X-Wah here, so... Enemies are emerging bright and early in the BBM hot part of the summer here. We are in July. Of course, as July and August go on, things are going to get more hectic. Sniping is going to get more uncomfortable. Reaching for people at ADPs that don't make sense is going to happen more in rooms. So got to center yourself. Got to, I don't know, be angry at people for content. Maybe not angry for them. Angry at them off content. That's what I'd suggest. Sign the casuals are back. Faster fill rate. That is true. That is true. Another time here. So Debo and Brandon Ayuk going at the turn. People are really using that 1-2 turn. One of my observations, using that 1-2 turn to just do whatever is in their heart, whatever's in their heads, they're putting in that 1-2 turn. And a lot of times it's like Detroit, San Francisco. I think there's going to be, and certainly this is not accounting for all the casual drafters, all the people out there who will just play it by ADP, but people who think they're smart at the 1-2 turn, and not to say that Mr. Unlikely is not smart, but as an example of what he's doing here, they just love getting Niners at that 1-2 turn. Like they love getting Niners, Lions, Gibbs with one of the receivers. People love doing that. That 1-2 turn is officially like the trying to outthink everything spot is what I've seen so far. I'm not the one doing it for the most part, but there we go. Love seeing you and Pete back together yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Honestly, felt like it was a pretty tame, quick one for our standards, but that's what happens, I think, when Pete and I have to catch up. Pete had to catch up on some of my takes, but it was obviously great being back with Pete, talking with him. And, we talked for like a good 15 minutes after the show, too. Like, I miss talking with Pete on the regular as one of my, definitely one of my closer friends in the industry. But obviously, content is content. Getting paid for things is getting paid for things. It's unfortunate that's the nature of stuff, but definitely check out the stream. Obviously, great every week with him and Sean Siegel and Pat Corain. I'm glad to be able to fill in that role and probably get infinitely less views than our pal Adam Levitan did the week before. But so that's the game for you. Catch up on stream for yesterday. Excited to see my splash dads back together. Okay, thank you. The dads are splashing for sure. We talked about some kids yesterday, talking about Pete not doing daycare, which I don't know if that's a revelation, but I was surprised by that. I feel like for all the daycare parents out there, when you get in the daycare, that's a gift from God. But some people like to have the kids at home more, and I think that's where Pete's more on the mindset of, which I respect a lot. I can't do it myself, but damn it if I don't respect it. We had it for fucking 9 months. That was enough. For 6 months, that was enough. Tyreek Hill here. God, I just fucking Waddle and Tyreek is just so tedious to me. Everybody wants to steam Waddle up. I saw the Underdog guys are trying to push Waddle up to like the 202 is what they were speculating in their video. I think it's today. We're just going to do the Miami double, the bullshit Miami double that does not excite me. But I just want to build a clean team today. I just want to build a nice, clean, fun team that, will please the people who think I'm not doing enough for structure, even though cobbling together backdoor stacks left and right on stream. I hear the criticism, but I also sometimes get sent threads from people bashing me on the Deposit Kingdom and the Hoops chat on the Badge Bros. And did see that and was just like, really? Like, okay. So I got a chip on my shoulder today. It's also one of those things too, where it's not people I know that well, but it is something where when you see people saying mean shit about you behind your back, especially when they're really bad on camera, and I think just jealous of the fact that you can get views, people may know what I'm talking about. If they don't, I'm just saying it for myself. I think that's something that nobody who's a regular here, to be clear, but did see somebody send me and I'm like, really? So that's where my head's at today. I'm in a vengeful mood. It's not a good mood, but a good but vengeful mood. Malik Neighbors came back, which is interesting. Mike Evans still here, just one of my least favorite clicks, and I just don't foresee doing it here. No H-Hand coming back certainly makes it easier to not go heavy up on Miami. I think this is a neighbor spot for me. Yeah. At a certain point, I do have to take Mike Evans more. I'm just not there. I just think Mike Evans, to me, feels more like a late 20s pick. I can't get there. Neighbors, frankly, can make the case should also be a late 20s pick. Obviously, he is here. He's closer to that in ADP. But I prefer just taking the shot on Neighbors, his electricity, versus a guy in Mike Evans, who, as I've said enough times, I'm a big believer in odds of coordinator moves. I do believe that, when you get a good coordinator in, can change the equation entirely for your team. When you get a bad coordinator in, can also, or just a guy who's less good than the last guy, can also greatly impact your players. And I'm the biggest Dave Canales, stand out there in terms of what he did. He was the guy that really got me on my pet theory of if you get a hunky offensive coordinator coming into your team, they're the guy that you just look to and go like, this guy's gonna get the job done. And I think that's been one of the more true parables of coaching that I've seen, in recent years. So to me, losing those offensive coordinators, getting a new one in like Liam Cohen, who does seem a little more of a check down artist kind of guy who wants to work some of the shorter stuff. Just don't know that's great for Mike Evans. I don't know it's great for Baker either, whose game is really just getting the ball downfield, taking shots with some amount of reckless abandon. So that's how I'm feeling about Mike Evans, but he's certainly a guy. I don't feel as bad about him as I do like a T. Higgins. I just have reservations. It's kind of how I feel about it. Peanut butter and jealous, probably baby dicks. That's always the case. And that's the thing too, is like, you're always going to have haters, especially when you put yourself out there as much as I do, as frequently as I do, as aggressively as I do. So I get it, but definitely Amari Cooper at 31. I fucking thought he's going to be live to get Amari Cooper at 46. Oh man, I'm trying to build something clean here, trying to get some clean Miami, Cleveland. And I can't get Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper has to go for fucking 15 picks ahead of ADP. Come on, man. Come on. I sound good, real tight. Thank you. Just got a workout in before the stream. I'm feeling good. Got my work done early. Got my probably video out. Had a 5-0 day in the top 5. Every bet we hit, every bet we put on the video yesterday that wasn't a home run hit. So probably's been on like a quietly. This has been a monster run. Coincidentally, when I was on vacation for a week, but we've hit like 4-1s and 5-0s, like I think 5 times within the last 10 videos. So I'm sure it's going to run bad soon, but I'm feeling good. And I am so tan that I look racially ambiguous. I am Latino. I am a little bit Latino, mostly Italian, which is enough. Cordero Patterson being hyped as having a bigger role than many expect. Arthur Smith shenanigans to ruin your fantasy team. That's possible. I don't know. I find that hard to believe. Did seem like Arthur Smith recognized what he had and didn't have with Cordero last year. Lamar at 38 on oh no, he's got Zay. All right. I guess that works. Weird room. Weird room so far. Do we think the Amari reach was a star method thing? I don't know why you would star Amari. I think you just got to think that Amari is a better play than Pittman, Zay, Pickens, Tank, which is a take. It's a take to have. And then there's one parable, one life lesson to have, one mantra you can bring. Donks are going to donk. Donks are going to donk. Either way, though, we'll see what we get in these next few picks. Now that we know Amari Cooper has left us behind. Got a Devontae in the 2-3 turn last night. Are you jealous? I'm not jealous, but I do think that people who take Devontae at the 1-2 turn are probably going to be a little bit jealous. Devontae's on the thumbnail today. I have no issues with Devontae, really. He's been probably one of my least favorite clicks overall in this range, but that's basically it. I didn't even realize our draft stalker here changed his color, I guess. So fuck him still, but he's in the room as well. What a dildo. What a fucking dildo. One of the biggest dildos in town. Trying to sneak by me, change his draft, his color avatar to orange, like his fucking alcoholic face. Like my tan too, I suppose. I am more of a golden toast, I think is what my tan is right now. Anyway, what are we going to do here? Weirdo room. Things is it creating value at least? It's creating George Pickens value, my least favorite kind of value. But people reaching around like crazy. This guy reached for A.J. Brown, Devontae. These guys are reaching for Lamar over here. Definitely some reaching going on, and yet no net benefit to the room, it seems. Trey McBride here. What are they doing to me? You can't put Terry McLaurin in front of my face like this. I do want to get more Pacheco, though, and I'm going to try to do that here. If for some reason... Oh, no, but you know what? These guys both need receivers. One of these days, guys, I am going to stop taking Terry McLaurin. That day is not today. Terry McLaurin is being joined in my all-explosive offense team. These are all guys, Waddle, I have my critique stuff. He's still an EPA, star player, of course, the expected points added metric that I swear by analytically from Sports Info Solutions. But Waddle, if we're going to make a bet on Miami, we're going to say a bet here that Miami's going to go absolutely nuts. Tyreek and Waddle can pay off their ADPs, fine. I like Waddle enough in that construct. Tyreek is one of my favorite players analytically in terms of the workload he gets, in terms of the upside he gets. So that's a good one for me. Neighbors, I think, was an electric player in college. He and Marvin Harrison, as I mentioned enough times, 1A, 1B to me in terms of them coming out. Harrison, more of a traditional boundary receiver, which is the big body type of guy that I like to plant my flag for the most. That said, Neighbors performed just as well as a smaller guy, and his east to west movement, as I've talked about a few times on here, he's so good laterally that I really think that it's one of those things that you really can't ignore. So Neighbors to me, Daniel Jones, I don't care. I'll take Neighbors. And McLaurin, I think, is due for the best year of his career this year. It might sound crazy to hear that, but that's been my thesis the entire time. When you add in a QB, it can be like dynamite to a roster. I think that's where McLaurin is. So I was going to take Pacheco before. Pacheco falls all the way back to me. McBride's still nice to get an elite tight end, though. Correlation game getting weird. AR would correlate with Neighbors. It would be kind of fun. This is a tough call. McBride, Pacheco. I have enough McBride. I do not have enough Pacheco. So let's do a little bit of a deviation from my brain. We will start with a hero RB start. Isaiah Pacheco here. So Pacheco at RB, 6 picks after ADP. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin are my receivers. So a 4-receiver start. We hit RB. We're going to build a clean team today, and we're going to make it feel good, even though Amari Cooper would have been a little bit cleaner for me for the Week 17 correlation. First of all, I called you butt a skin yesterday. Are we saying that my skin is like a butt or that I am like butter? I'll take both. How does your stalker get into so many rooms when you start randomly? Starting to think he's your wife pulling a long con. No, to be clear, my wife, I would... That's an insult. I'm not going to take umbrage to it. Jason, one of our regulars here. But no, he just, I think, enters 3 is like what he does, which is like insane that you want to be in a stream draft that bad. But my observation is that, yes, he enters 2 or 3 drafts in a row at the same time to ensure that he'll get in when he notices that I haven't started my stream yet by 11 o'clock. So that's the process if you want to be a weirdo, but I'm pretty sure what it is. Yes. Thankfully, it's been about, I don't know, 10 drafts since I've had him in a room. So we're doing okay. Rationale of Pacheco over ATN. Pacheco has no competition. ATN, they've willfully said a couple times they want to get somebody in to take the onus off of them. And that's Tank Bigsby again. They also have Keelan Robinson there, who's not a player that anybody's talking about yet, but he is a guy that was good enough in college that I think could be somebody that, maybe takes some of those hasty Bigsby touches away if ATN just isn't a guy they want to give that workload to. They've been pretty willful about not wanting ATN, where ATN to get 20 plus touches a game. Whereas Pacheco, you have no Jerick McKinnon back. You have just CEH there, who they've been pretty clear about. It's not going to be a guy who takes a meaningful workload away. This is the best spot for Pacheco. And you pair that with what I talk about a lot with my feelings on KC. I think that KC and Mahomes in particular last year learned a lot about what you do to win, or what you can do to win at this stage of a career to keep yourself healthy, keep yourself upright. You guys want to guess how many 20-plus point games Patrick Mahomes had last year in terms of half-point PPR? I think it was 3. And only one of them came after, I believe, week 8. So that's a team that wants to run the ball. Now, if the defense isn't as good as last year, certainly possible they lost a few guys, then that's going to be something where defense is not the most sticky year to year. If the defense sucks, then Mahomes is going to have to throw more. But if that defense is competent, they're going to win games with Pacheco a lot. So That's really my whole summary of how I view KC this year. I think people are really flocking to go there. They see the weapons coming in and they think, oh, these guys are going to be so much better than Justin Watson and MVS and stupid Kadarius Toney. And meanwhile, it's like they tried to feed those guys a little bit last year. Then they recognized they wanted to get shorter plays going, some check downs, some jet motion, stuff like that. That was how that team won last year. And you won a Super Bowl doing it. So why would you all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're going to throw a bunch of we're going to throw 10 deep throws a game. We're going to throw more than anybody in the league. It's not how that works. So to me, Pacheco really undervalued, undervalued by me as well, because I usually go wide receiver in that spot. But that's really it. I think it's a good take here by who Holmes who Hames here. The weapons are going to clear more space for Pacheco and Kelsey. That's true. And, Rashee Rice to a similar extent as well, but it's just going to open more clear out space for these guys. And I still think, Hollywood Brown, I like as a pick in half point PPR because I think there is touchdown upside there. He just has to get, a little bit of that MVS work, a lot of that MVS work. Maybe he rolls up MVS and Justin Watson's work into one. But I think really there's just a lot of receiver weapons. There's only one RB weapon. So your risk for Pacheco, though, is he can lose some of the short goal line stuff because, again, they'll run that jet motion. They'll do some stuff where you get Kadarius Toney in space. You'll do some stuff where you get Xavier Worthy in space. Certainly Rashee Rice, good red zone threat. Travis Kelce, one of the best in the league. So that's the risk you run for Pacheco, but I don't know. Kyle Pitts goes, I would have been happy to scoop Pitts on the way back, but this guy needed bully tight end, which is never great for your roster, even though it might feel good. Stroud is here, does nothing for us right now. George Kittle doesn't excite me very much. That was my ranks you were seeing. Now we're seeing my ADP. It's a good receiver pocket. I got to admit that. I'm going to go Deontay. Quick click here. Deontay, wide receiver 5. I think he's the kind of player that in this build, maybe less of a luxury, but I do think we have some boom bust with Waddle. If I'm wrong about McLaurin, if I'm wrong about Neighbors and the Giants offensive environment, maybe a little more boom bust there. So I will take Deontay here. Was quietly hoping that Montgomery would come back to me. He doesn't, so we'll survive. The logic might have been to take an RB there, but I kind of thought Big Tuna and Raise It were going to go wide receiver more so. So that's why I chose to try to push Montgomery around. Did not work well. They still passed over expectation last year. The ADOT dropped off of a cliff. I don't think you change your ADOT. So they hired a new OC last year. Matt Nagy came in. Their ADOT dropped off the cliff. Still passed a lot. I think the signal is there. You can please read whatever you want into it. Make your own bet. My bet is that KC is not going to do historical KC things this year. We have Stroud still on the board. Does nothing for us, unfortunately. Could have had the 6th receiver here. Correlation-wise, nothing we really have to do. I think Ramondre comes up over the course of this offseason. Evan Ingram feels pretty good here. We're going to have a lot of RBs coming up. We can get an elite tight end in. We're going to do that. So Evan Ingram is the pick. We have 1 RB, 1 tight end, 5 wide receivers. Pacheco is the RB. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, and Evan Ingram is the team so far. So we have an elite-ish tight end, the guy we know has big playoff upside to carry you through a few rounds on Evan Ingram. We've got 5 receivers I like, including one in Deontay Johnson that I think gives us a little bit more of a floor. My best case scenario for him is he keeps the entire year of Adam Thielen that Adam Thielen had the beginning half of last year. Maybe keeps it going all year long for Deontay based on his talent, how he played last year. But we'll see how that goes. Choose to be playing with a lead most of the time, probably run a lot of neutral game scripts. Sure. Didn't bully tight end. He timed out for what? All right, well, would have been nice if he didn't time out. But I don't know. You never know in these rooms. Pacheco could also make this a good Brooks plus Bryce finish. Interesting thought. Yeah, it's possible. Would I have taken Brian Thomas over Deontay if you knew Ingram was going to be there on the way back? Might have impacted me a little bit more, yeah. I still think that Deontay is a better pick for this team, whereas Thomas is super talented. Thomas, I do think, earns a lot of that red zone share, that touchdown equity for Jacksonville. He's really the only guy they have who has a track record of being a beast in the red zone. So I think that's where I still like Brian Thomas. That said, the no side case for him, I think, is that he's a lot of deep shots. He's a guy that maybe feasts off of those touchdowns that Jaden Daniels gave him last year. There's a lot of go route stuff, a lot of, 9 route, post route kind of things downfield. I think that's where I worry about Thomas a little bit in this kind of build where I'm obviously thinking I'm not wrong about Terry. If I'm picking these guys, I'm not wrong about them. But like Waddle in round 2, I think there's a lot of weeks where Waddle just doesn't give you a usable score. Like that's really my bet on Waddle, or my bet against Waddle generally. Obviously in this build, we took Waddle, so we're making the assumption here that Miami's passing offense is going absolutely bananas, and that's how it gets there. But I think for me, I want a little more security at receiver, and I do think Deontay presents a little more security as wide receiver 5. Like I find it hard to believe he's not giving you 10-point games on the regular. If not, can he get to 15? Let's say 6 for 90 kind of games. So 15, I think on DraftKings, probably closer to like, 12, 13 on an underdog. That's how I view Deontay Johnson. I just think he doesn't kill you, whereas Brian Thomas could kill you a lot of weeks, I think. Let's see. Honestly, can't believe Stroud's falling this consistently in drafts. He's not a great 6th round or 5th round pick, but an awesome 7th rounder. Yeah, I think it's people just talking themselves out of it because of the lack of rushing upside, but his rushing upside is still a Joe Burrow adjacent rushing upside, and Burrow went ahead of him last year. So I just think Stroud's mispriced as well, especially when he does go. I mean, see him go in the 80s in some rooms. I'm sure there's some room out there where he's gone late 80s. It's not a logical pick. I think I've thought that ADPs, I've thought that some of the takes I've seen out there this year, and I say this to somebody as well that I've been in the weeds since January. So when you are in the weeds, I think doing your research from that point of time, you develop some priors. Obviously, I carry priors as well from last year, and I try to adjust as best I can, but I'm still going to have them. I do think there's a lot of people this year that have been off from day one. And I think now that we're getting the weirdos coming in, and the casuals, I shouldn't say weirdos, the people who haven't been paying as much attention, it's really making ADPs move around in a way, and players sometimes in rooms in a micro level falling in a way where it's like, this just doesn't make sense for anything that I see the year as. And I see the year as CJ Stroud. This is a shot to win an MVP or to be in the hunt for an MVP. This is a shot to put it down in a big way for a team. So, and his career, like these are the times and guys like year 1 to year 2, when you have great coaching and your team adds another, at least historical stud receiver, if he's not going to be one this year. I think that's where you see guys really make a big leap. And Joe Mixon too, maybe takes away some touchdown equity, but that's another weapon there they didn't have. Like for whatever you want to say about Singletary, who I loved last year, and Mixon, who I did not love last year and I don't love conceptually, but he's a power back in a team that needs to run the ball and decrease their risk, in the red zone, put up some touchdowns there. So like it's a perfect fit for CJ Stroud in a million different ways. I don't get any sort of fall. Brock Bowers being here would be kind of nice. It's got a tight end. I mean, obviously, Raheem Mostert would be the best pick for me. Oh, let's just take the best pick. Bowers is pure luxury. We'll get our Miami bet here. So some concerning quotes coming out about Devon Achane. I guess concerning if you are a big Raheem Mostert drafter, where the beat reporters in Miami are saying that there's a world where Devon Achane can be Christian McCaffrey this year. I don't quite buy that, but I do think there is still a world where it can happen. Like, Achane was one of the most explosive players we had in football last year. His games alone, like even missing a month, carried a few of my drafter teams, including the one that finished top 110, and a lot of my underdog portfolio as well. So like, I don't ever want to speak ill of Achane. I still think that it's like a little bit overblown. Like maybe he'll be a more explosive, lower volume version of CMC, but when you have Raheem Mostert, when you bring in another RB like Jalen Wright, it kind of screams to me that you're probably getting signal there to say, like, we don't want to give this guy this crazy workload. And for what it's worth, it in college, was it A&M? It wasn't maybe the best coach, wasn't Mike McDaniel calling plays. Achane got a lot of work and his efficiency dropped off the cliff. He had over 20 touches in college and it got worse. So some guys aren't meant to be 20 touch backs. Chase Brown, kind of the same thing. But the situation can give it to him. So we'll see. Oh, unstacked. Oh, he sniped you. Big Tuna sniped. Raise it. Well, there you go. So that's what happens when you come in a stream room, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Big Tuna thinking it out, weighing all the options. I am never going to get under 50%. I guess I'm at like 40 right now on Jaden. I am making my bed with Jaden Daniels, and God damn it, I'm going to sleep in it. Jaden Daniels again. I just don't care. This team is too nice to not have Jaden Daniels on it. He's the thing that wins BBM as long as he stays healthy. I will die on this hill. Jaden Daniels is the pick. A 1-2-5-1 build. Jaden right at ADP alongside Isaiah Pacheco, Raheem Mostert, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Evan Ingram. We've got a solid team here. No position is lacking really at this point. Can't not take Jaden here. Jaden's a good bet. I mean, look, you know my stance on the bet. I'm glad to have it echo chambered back at me for sure. The damn Daniels jersey. I'm not, look, I've told you guys, my money goes to funding probably and paying whatever bills I can here right now. So good, some signs of life coming for probably on the investor front. Hopefully, fucking knock on wood. I'm sure I'm going to get a bad email second the stream ends, but some signs of life there. So trust me, if that comes through in August, you'll see me spend foolishly on things like a Jaden Daniels jersey. For now, though, unfortunately, the only support I have for Jaden is in my heart of hearts, my love of loves. And also, I am in the Philadelphia area. So if anything's going to get me harassed more by locals, as if I'm harassed at all now, to get me harassed by locals, it would be wearing Commanders attire around. Philly just hates everybody from another city. That's how it goes. 2 week 6 bye RBs. Be careful. Bye week bro's coming for you. I think we have enough time to get some more running backs in, would be my guess. I think we have a few more rounds, if I had to guess, to get some more RBs in. A lot big RB pockets coming up here. I think so far we're playing the board about as well as we can. You'll give me a bootleg? Thank you. I appreciate it. One that'll fall apart the second I wear it. I was also really excited for it. I know like there's been a heat wave across the country. I don't know if you guys were on the East Coast, wherever. And the East Coast has been fucking awful. I was in Virginia Beach last week, got up to 100 a couple days. Came back to Philly, was 95 the first day we were here. My wife was like, oh, it's going to cool down tomorrow. I was like, awesome. Can't wait for it. It's fucking 90 already here. It's like 11:30. I can't live on the East Coast. I really hate East Coast heat and humidity. And I'll tell you, working out before the stream, coming right into the studio, whoo, if you wanted to fucking soak me in right now, you could. I could bottle the scent in the air right now and send it to really, really weird people who would want to buy it. Anyway, that jersey would fall apart the second I put it on. Oh, dog walker. Oof. Yeah. I saw the mailman when I was walking outside because I mentioned a couple times on stream, I'm doing 3 miles a day walking just to get myself moving and do something more sustainable than running. Because every time I run on concrete, my joints, my shins, like all the shit, all the shit when you're encroaching on 40 starts to creep up. But I saw the mailman out there and I'm like, God bless you, man. Like, more power to you for being able to do that. Because that is a very difficult job. Shouldn't pull up my ranks on screen when Feelin' Moosey, aka Bombadil, is here. Takes Tyjae. Tyjae would have been a nice little macro, Jacksonville, Tennessee, but it's okay. Got a bunch of RBs here we can choose from. I like Chase Brown. I don't know that Chase Brown and Jerome Ford are a significantly different play, so I'm going to go Jerome Ford here. Jerome Ford gives us some oppo correlation for Miami in week 17. I love Jerome Ford. I think Jerome Ford very live to carry us through this week 6 bye we'll have for Isaiah Pacheco and Raheem Mostert. So Jerome Ford is my pick here. Some more reports coming out after Chubb initially, I think maybe like a week ago. People out there were speculating, oh, he could be ready week 1. Look how hard he's working out. Some more reports came out locally that it's looking like he won't be ready in the first month of the season. I still tend to think Chubb has to miss 4 weeks, obviously on the PUP list. I would say more likely misses 6 to 8. So Ford, to me, going to have a role no matter what, but obviously a better role until Chubbs comes back in. Until Chubbs come back in. Plumbing outside in NFL is tough. Jesus, you guys got some hard fucking jobs. You guys are killing it. But shout out to all you guys working hard out there. I'm bitching about being in a basement where it's hot. So I respect you guys more for doing hard manual labor that I myself refuse. I had to go outside with Luca last night to play because Alex is like not in the mood to do it. So I went outside with Luca and I'm just like, God, it's so fucking hot and gross. And he just wants to go on the swings. And I'm like, fucking kill me, man. Let alone doing plumbing. Doing plumbing would be a tough time. We have Gus, we have Zeke, we have Eckler. Tua, I think we're gonna ride it out. You know, people love it when I push guys around. We're gonna ride that out. Bad reports on Eckler. Eckler's probably falling in rooms, but he does correlate here. We'll make it as a tiebreaker. I don't view Eckler, Zeke, Gus as very different plays. Think they're all 12-ish touchbacks. That was the report that came out for Eckler. He's going to be getting 8 to 12 touches, supposedly from the beat guys in Washington. Again, that said, it's all speculation this time of year, so I don't really want to read too much into it. But the whole thesis this entire year has been that Brian Robinson, from the moment Dan Quinn started talking about him, is going to be the bell cow back. Eckler's going to be a change of pace back. Maybe gets a little bit more if he's running hot. Maybe gets a little more in certain game scripts. But that said, Brian Robinson's gone. Eckler's here. We'll take him. I do think Eckler, though, because of that news, because that quote about him being limited to 8 to 12 touches, probably falls a little bit more. I don't know if he falls enough to get back to me at 142. I feel like Chubb at current value is fine, missing 8 games. Depends what you have with him. If he's your RB6, your RB5, then you can get through. You got guys with real roles. If you have Chase Brown, you have Eckler, you have Javonte, you have like guys where like there's some risk to the role. I think that's where you don't want Chubb. But if you have like a good base, I think Chubb is fine. Put a little pool this year has been a lifesaver. There you go. Yeah, our neighbors built a pool, like a really nice pool out last year. But that's like so much fucking money. So that's not happening. But I would love if there were things I could do to our house right now. And I don't want to do stuff to the house because I still want to move back to LA at some point in the next few years. But like tear down the garage, put up a basketball hoop, rip up the yard, put it in a pool. And there'd still be enough yard left for Luka to fuck around and go on the swings and slide and whatever. But unfortunately, not happening until we win BBM. Eckler's just another old person in DC who should call it a career. All right, that's a good bit. I don't know that he's quite Joe Biden level. I don't know that he's quite anybody else levels, but he's taken a lot of hits in his career. See, he still seems very eloquent, though. Chubb at 131, I got to say, where he goes here, don't like that pick very much. Got to give him in the 140s. Reaching for Chubb feels like a fool's errand, especially if we get into camp and find out he's like for sure not going. That is going to make people drive him down maybe to the 150s. So I would not reach for Chubb if you're going to take him. I mean, there's too many. Like, there's Mitch McConnell. There's too many. Like, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle, really. They're all fucking feeble. Feeble and the least evil you can be. Like, are generally the hopes and goals. All right, so I'm trying to see this guy's team. Why would he take? This is probably an okay team to take Chubb. I still have concerns about Walker. Jacobs, lesser concerns. But he gets Jacobs, gets Walker. I guess it's the kind of team where you could take Chubb. I'd still probably punt him. Personally, John Dotson goes 137. Happy to have him. Not a must-have when we have McLaurin. Ooh, we're calling Chubb the rake, huh? That's tough. That's tough. I think when he was going the 100s, I think he and Hawkinson in the beginning of the BBM, I think were the rake. Like, I think they were the guys where it's like, okay, there's really no reason these guys should be going here if you know anything about how football injuries go and you just read a little bit. So I would say that maybe there, but nothing is really the rake in BBM, I don't think, personally, unless you're just drafting 4 RBs to start kind of thing. All right, around the bend here, Big Tuna's got 2 QBs. He'd have to be an idiot to take Tua. Raise it would also have to be an idiot, and I know he's not. So I don't think we're going to do that. I think what we are going to do is take Darnell Mooney for some Oppo Washington stuff. I want more Mooney as my Oppo for Washington, my opposite correlation for week 17. But that's why we're going to get him here. And hopefully logical heads prevail. And we get Tua back at 147 would feel pretty good. Getting Tua at a 22-pick discount. I said it. This one's for the haters. If I get Tua back here cleanly and Raise It doesn't time out, please don't time out, Raise It. You can hear the stream. You can hear my voice. This is an opposite of walking him down. Raise It. Please don't fuck it up. Please click your picks. Don't fumble your phone and go, whoa! And all of a sudden, Tua's getting picked. Let's give Spags a 22-pick discount on Tua because people are mean to him on the Hoops channel in the Deposit Kingdom. Raise It, I think, is just making me sweat now. Or he's like fumbling his phone. He just had a heart attack. He's going to fucking timeout on Tua. Okay. Thank you, Raise It. Thank you for the bit. Hawkinson goes. Should we push Tua again? No, we'll take Tua. The slide ends for Tua. Come on down, buddy. My favorite QB at pick 147. We got Jaden Daniels. We strong-armed people into giving Tua at 147. We got Pacheco at a discount. We got Mostert at ADP. Reached a little bit for Jerome Ford. Reached a little bit for Eckler, but both guys correlate, so we'll live with it. And the RBs, frankly, weren't much better in that pocket. We got Tyreek, Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, Evan Ingram. Seems fucking locked and loaded. Okay, Matthew says, team's fire. Great value on Tua. Look, I haven't been able to push a QB, guys, in fucking weeks. This is the joy. This is the moment. Wow. Tua. Again, not the biggest Tua fan in the world, taking him right at ADP, reaching for him when you get the Dolphins double. But if you could push that fucker around and add 3 more picks in, let's do it. Could have taken Hawk and Tua. I could have spat on that thing and taken Hawk and Tua. Look at that donk with Mahomes. Dak didn't snipe. If he sniped with Mahomes and Dak, fine. I'm perfectly happy to go in knowing that Jaden Daniels, if you gave me a 1v1 of Jaden versus Tua, I'm taking Jaden. I mean, I think for me, it's probably 10 times out of 10, but like 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, more than 50% of the time. But to add that on as a discount, that was what you try to get. It's what you try to push. Making Salt and Peppa proud. Spags pushed it real good. We did. We pushed it real good. I need to have haters every day. I need people to tip me off some mean things people say every day so I can come out, put together some fire teams, play with courage here on the field. Happy at the start, though. Got a lot of flexibility. The hard part sometimes when you have the nice start is how do you be flexible enough to make the most of it down the home stretch? I would say probably a 2 QB build at this point. Also, I know people love pushing 3. Maybe if we get Oppo correlation, could set up a 3rd one. I think we've got enough of a base here that we could be a little bit flexible later on. Our guy Noah, hate that you got that 2 ADP value. So I haven't had a good ADP value draft yet. It's hard. It's honestly, it's harder. I'm not trying to be a martyr here. Harder in stream rooms because when we do have people that know when I'm coming in and people who are usually watchers of the show do know to scoop up ADP value, do know to try to get guys as a discount. The most prolific way, the best way to make yourself unique is just scooping up ADP value, then building around that. And that's what layers uniqueness on top. So I get it. I'm certainly, you're watching one stream, you're like, this guy's getting all the value here. It doesn't happen often. It's not happening a lot. And I think it happens a lot less in general. I do think the one place that was like a value pit, and probably the same for the pit bull right now, the Schnauzer, the shorter clock just made people put a lot of guys in the queue and they wouldn't be able to adapt in time to guys at ADP falling. So I would say if you are going to get really good ADP values in this current landscape, it's either A, idiot rooms, B, really fast clock. I think those are the 2 where you're going to get your best values. Happy for you, but want that one draft where I leave going, well, look, I get it. Most of my drafts that leave me feeling like wow are ones where I did them early and I got stuff right early on. And, that assumes too that things will be right for like the Ben Simmons of the world, which is still one where there's some risk for people out there, I think, with the perception. Though I still die on the hill of saying that it was just fucking speculation about him playing H-back because they saw him block well. You can't put the number 2 targeter and tight end in the class as an H-back. That just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense with what he did in film last year or on film last year. So anyway, point being is like, that's where I feel like my best drafts are. There's not been a lot of value to go around, I think, in general, at least in these, this time of day, etc. So 2, 4, 6, 1 here. It is a hero RB build, so we don't have to go crazy on RB here. Obviously, Algier would correlate. I think it's just what we do here. I like Ray Davis enough. Ray Davis is coming down. Still think Algier, his best case is probably getting 20% of the workload this year. Do you think they really center around Bijan based on everything that's been said so far? But Algier, I think, being Eli Mitchell from 2 years ago when McCaffrey first came in, I think is in the potential cards. So that's the bet we'll make here. I'd go 2 QB of the team because the extra RB / wide receiver roster slot can help you cover all those week 6 buys. People are really worried about the week 6 buys. It's not, I don't think it's that deep, guys. It's just 1 week. My BBM finalist 2 years ago didn't have Trey Lance for the entire year. Obviously, it's QB. It's a little bit different. You can get through with stuff. It's just, how everything else does alongside of it. But I get it. Bucky was going to be my next pick, so maybe a bailout for myself there. I'm trying to get a little bit less Ben Sinnott, but I do think he right here would not be a bad pick. We don't have any Seattle stuff. It does seem like Noah Fant's coming up quite a bit. Kate Otten does correlate. We'll tie break for Kate Otten. I just don't think Kate Otten's coming up. But we'll give the Noah Fant drafter. I think this guy reached for Geno. I don't know what the fuck. This guy's team actually is a pretty stupid team. In the 7 hole. He took, so like Bijan start fine. Devontae reached for Cooper, took Kirk at ADP. Is he trying to get like unique combos? I don't know, but he's got 5 receivers through 10 rounds, barely. Took 3 QBs in a row that are not correlated. Yeah, no, that's not a good team. That's a dumb team. And I gave him Noah Fant. He didn't take Noah Fant when he has Geno. That's stupid. That's stupid. Oh, it looks like I sniped Jeremy too. All right, good. Good. Fuck him. Week 6 is going to haunt me. Yeah, I'm sure. Everything's going to go to shit in week 6. We all know the week that I'm scared of is week 14, when that's when all my favorite QBs are going to be gone and off the roster. And also some of my favorite wide receivers going to be gone and off the roster. Houston, Indianapolis, Baltimore, Washington, Denver, New England. They're all gone in week 14. So week 14 is my arch nemesis. Week 6, get through week 6. Easy peasy. No, again, so we talked about this enough. Ertz is listed as a tight end 1 by beat reporters, not based on usage. Like, it's really one of those things that I hate. So I hate content this time of year, not just like this kind of content, but reporters now, like part of their job is when there's that lull between mini camp and training camp, is they have to create these articles based upon what they see. And these guys aren't fantasy football analysts. There's sometimes, and I say this too, part of the reason I took the job running Football Outsiders was I wanted to see how like real football people think, what they know, what they don't know. Like for me, part of my process here, I've learned enough about DFS. I've been doing DFS content, been playing DFS for, I guess, probably about a decade now. But I've been doing DFS content since 2017. So I've been doing that. Learned as much as I could from the Stochastic guys, from Osmo and all them. So it's like, what else can I do to add value to my career, to my own personal desire of knowledge, while also getting paid decently, until it all went to shit. So I went to Football Outsiders, dealt with Aaron Schatz, dealt with Mike Tanier, guys who are vets of this process. These guys don't fucking know. They don't know how teams are going to do things. They know stuff like how defenses are going to run, but on terms of like offenses and what they're going to do. And those are two of the sharpest guys, like Aaron Schatz, for whatever flaws I may have seen over the time dealing with him. And there are a fucking lot of them. He is the godfather of football analytics, and he can't tell you what a team is going to do. And yet we have beat guys trying to create content. And then we have fantasy football people and going, well, this beat guy said this and he's locked in. And it's like, no, it's not how that goes. Guys running with the first team, if we were like, oh, Zach Ertz is getting all the first team reps, listen to that, but not them speculating about shit. Like, that's where things go wrong. And that's my fundamental belief. We'll certainly see, but no, I'm not worried about Zach Ertz stuff. I really think, and there's been signal too from Cliff Kingsbury saying he's here to mentor these guys. He's not here to be a star. Like, I think that's the part people miss, but I'm obviously passionate about this because like, this is my take. So if my take is wrong, I'll be really fucking bummed. But I don't think it's a price lock thing for me or a take lock thing. This is really me going, I just think that was a really flimsy fucking statement from a beat guy who didn't know what he's talking about. And there's a lot of them. Anyway, thought you'd go sit it there. No, we're going to take him as a tight end 3, I guess. We don't really need to. I guess this is more of a Luke McCaffrey spot. We'll layer some correlation on. We'll come back with 2 outs for a 3rd tight end. Why not? When in Rome. When in Rome, you take Luke McCaffrey. You know what do you just want me to count? No, there's 122 streams. You can just watch all of them. My biggest takes, you probably heard them on the stream today. It was Washington being an outlier this year. Jaden Daniels being a combo of Stroud and AR in terms of the analytics that I swear by that allowed me to pinpoint those guys last year. Daniels looks like a better version of both of them. A little more pressure. I'll say that's the one flaw for him. KC not being a high-octane offense, number 2. And the Jets being greatly overpriced is number 3. So I'll give Noah the summary because he's a good guy. But I try not to do that because I do feel like if you want to watch all the streams, you'll get all my takes out. Like people who watch every stream, I think, know every thought I have and can decide if they want to roll with it, if they want to fade it. I'm not being mean to you, Noah, but I do appreciate you asking for cliff notes. Give me cliff notes of all the things you believe in football this year. I believe I'm going to win BBM. That's the cliff notes. I'm going to do it for the haters. Sinnett's still here. Jonnu's still here. I mean, this room has been very kind to me. I don't really know like what to do with it. I think Tank would be a nice RB6 here for this team that does correlate as well. I think we'd use RB6 more than tight end, but I'll go Jonnu. I'll go Jonnu here. I got to beat down my Sinnett exposure a little bit Getting Jonnu here, a guy that I like. Not the biggest Cade Otton guy. Jonnu at a bit of a discount when we have Tua. That's my tiebreaker. So we're going to go with the double stack for Washington. We've got Jaden Daniels and Tua. Triple stack for Miami plus an RB. So we have Isaiah Pacheco, Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler, Tyler Algier as our RB room. Still would like a sixth RB. Don't need it, though. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, Luke McCaffrey. We've got texture layered week 17 here, layered on top. We've got Evan Ingram, Cade Otton, Jonnu Smith. Probably don't need a 3 tight end build with Evan Ingram, but I do think when your tight end 2 is Cade Otton, a 3 tight end build makes a lot of sense. So Ben Sinnott, I do love. I have 33% Ben Sinnott right now, so that is my logic there. This is not me backing down. It's not me capitulating on Ben Sinnott. It's more me managing my exposure. So this is a spot where I would always take Sinnott. I'm taking Jonnu in that spot. Solid click, solid click. Other Spags takes Ford, Irving, Lloyd, grossly undervalued. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. D. Owens knows. You've watched all of them. Shakir pays off big. Possible. He was one of the best receivers in EPA last year. He's incredibly efficient. The risk you run with him is Keon Coleman there adds a different component that was there last year with Diggs and Gabe Davis, but it's just going to be different with Keon being, I think, a better red zone threat, less of a talented player overall. You do have Curtis Samuel there as well, who does a lot of similar Shakir things. If I had to guess, Shakir is a good play in a Bill stack. I don't love him coming up to like 100. Like both he and Samuel are coming up. I don't think they should both come up. But I don't mind him. I think Shakir was great in the stuff I look at last year. Just not a great target earner. So that'd be the one flaw. This room gifted me. Jeez, people are really... I was due to have something nice happen for me. Maybe I need to... Again, I said it earlier. Maybe I should need to call out the haters on my title of every video. But a clean draft for the haters. I lived up to the promise here, and I haven't plugged at all this room, guys, or the stream, guys. So please subscribe down below, hit the like button. New drafts every Monday to Saturday at 11 a.m. On Saturday, we do drafters. Monday to Friday, I'm doing all my BBM entries live on stream. So try to move the time around a little bit. It's always going to be a draft going by 11 o'clock or shortly thereafter. But of course, you can come here, hang out with me every day. If you are new to Underdog for some reason, just drafting some fantasy football teams, you never played an Underdog. It's a lot of fun. A lot of great tournaments going on right now. Use promo code SPLASH on Underdog. Double your deposit to $250. Tank Bigsby came back to me as well. So we'll just scoop Tank, a guy who I would have been happy to take with that last round pick. We'll cap it at 7 receivers, which I know makes some people uncomfortable, but we got 5 guys in top 70 picks. It's kind of what you have to do. So Tank Bigsby, RB6, final team here, 2-6-7-3, Jaden Daniels, Tua Tagovailoa, Isaiah Pacheco, Raheem Mostert, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler, Tyler Algier, Tank Bigsby. Wide receiver, we got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Malik Neighbors, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Darnell Mooney, and Luke McCaffrey. That tight end, we got Evan Ingram, Cade Otton, Jonnu Smith. I don't know what I could have done better here. I guess maybe instead of Otton, just taking Sinnott and hoping... I mean, I wanted to not get Sinnott. I did want to get some oppo correlation for Deontay Johnson with Cade Otton. Broke a few of my brain lock / draft lock / take lock things here with this team, but I'm happy with it. So I'd like to let Razit make his pick so he feels loved. We'll count it down for Razit here. Okay, I don't know what he picked. What was Razit's final pick? This is going to be the mystery we get to the bottom of here. Audra Guestime. Hey, good pick by Razit. We'll take it. All right, guys, that's your draft for today. So, hey, look, new drafts every Monday to Saturday at 11 a.m. On Saturday, though, we do drafters. And Saturday is going to be a double header on drafters, as I missed this past week coming back from vacation. So, double header on drafters. Going to give away this week because I haven't done a little bit. Going to give away 4 tickets to drafters this weekend. So, come in, come get some giveaways. Use promo code SPLASH right now to sign up, and then maybe you'll win one of the tickets as well. But great deal in the Drafters Million. $15 entry fee, $500K to first place. 17 weeks, no pods, no playoff pods, full point PPR scoring. Finished top 110 last year with just 9 entries. A lot of people in the community finished even better than I did last year. So that's how it goes with Drafters. Check it out. Promo code SPLASH on there. Probably, I talked about earlier, could not be hotter right now with the data, which of course, pride cometh before the fall. That said, probably is going to change your life in betting, even if you only follow what the best bet is. Like, I swear to God, if you don't even follow our EV calculations and just go, wait a minute, I was going to take this bet on DraftKings at -115. I'm seeing now it's at Caesars for +115. That alone will flip. That's a 30% flip for you right away. That alone will change your bankroll in betting and will allow you to build that bankroll for stuff like DFS, for stuff like best ball. So check it out, probably.com. You'll learn more about the product. You can also get yourself a 7-day free trial on there. It can be just through the web as well. We have it on the App Store. We have it on the web. Either one will do it for you. People say the web anymore? Was that like a boomer thing to say? You want some DFS too? I don't know why you would, but MLB DFS, a lot of fun. Stochastic, promo code SPLASH on there for 13% off. And thank you to all these fine folks who joined the channel. If you hit that join button down below for $4.99 a month on YouTube, you get yourself 10 team reviews a month free. And I've been reviewing a lot, guys. I'm gonna review a few when I get off the stream here, but been doing them a lot. So 10 team reviews, VIP Discord, and also my rankings. You get updated weekly, and I have over 275 blurbs right now for players that are all ranked. It's been a labor of love, but I'm doing it here every day. So support the show. Hit the join button down below for $4.99 a month, like all those fine folks did. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. And hey, for the haters, fuck y'all. But for the haters, I just put up probably one of the cleanest drafts I have all year. So that's tomorrow for the haters, Thursday for the haters. All the days are for the haters now. Follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the show at SplashPlayPod. Thank you for watching, hanging with me. I'll see you guys again soon. So enjoy your days and good luck. Bye-bye.